Well, so we are here to do the discussion, and straight away, let me just do the introduction. I have Deputy Minister of Information, Pius Enam Hajide, and Honorable Pius.
That's fine, that's fine. Pius is fine, Roland.
Pius is fine, okay. So we'll go by that. And then Dr. Clement Apaak, Member of Parliament for Busa South, is also here. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Apaak.
Salute.
Salute now. All right, so straight away, let's hit the ground running and get the related issues as the conversation goes on. Yesterday, there was a heated debate in Parliament, of course, after we had gone through the processes. And we know at the center of the controversy right now related to the effort of the Electoral Commission to compile a new voters register is whether or not we need to have an additional document apart from the national ID card, and then okay, so apart from the national ID card, and then ultimately the document that enables us to travel out of our country, the passport. But we also do know there's a related issue in court. At the plenary, we expect to have the report of the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation, because there's an amendment that has been proposed and subsequently accepted by the committee to the existing CI, and so we're going to have that amendment. But since you're in Parliament, let me just ask you, according to the reports we got, the minority side of the committee, the minority side of the committee decided to object to these amendments as per the proposal of the Electoral Commission. Why was that?
Well, Roland, let me say good morning to you and Pius here, Deputy Minister for Information, and to say good morning to my constituents in Busa South. Well, I'm not a member of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee, but as a member of Parliament and a citizen of the country, I've taken interest in all matters to do with our governance, including the activities, plans, and programs by the Electoral Commission as announced by the Commission. I'm fully aware that my party and my colleagues on the committee that we just made references to have raised a number of issues and concerns about the CI that the Electoral Commission has brought before Parliament, seeking to be granted, if you like, the needed backing to engage further in a program that it says it has commenced. And I speak about the compilation of the new voters register, which my party, my caucus, we have contested and have said on many platforms to be unjustified and unnecessary. And indeed, now where we are with regards to the CI, which was contested by the minority members of the committee, is that we believe that what the Electoral Commission is proposing clearly is going to disenfranchise many millions of Ghanaians. Now we say so because if you look at the Constitution and if you look at the chapter under which the right to vote is captured, and I'm speaking about representation of the people, it makes very clear that the right to vote is fundamental. And indeed, that comes before the recognition of the Electoral Commission as the entity, if you like, the vehicle, the avenue, the conduit through which Ghanaians would be prepared to vote. Now, our argument is this. If the right to vote is fundamental, then the body that the Constitution has created to ensure that the citizen has the right to vote must at all times put in place plans and programs that are expansive Expansive in this sense, I would define as opening it up and putting in place the mechanisms and the tools that would allow for the majority of citizens who have the right to vote to be able to exercise that right as enshrined in the Constitution. Therefore, even when there is credible evidence, demonstrable evidence, that the Electoral Commission is proceeding in a trajectory where breeder documents are documents that are not easily available to the ordinary Ghanaian, in this case the passport and the Ghana card, then it presupposes that should that CI go through, those many millions of Ghanaians, and I know he can contest or prove me wrong, as far as I know, the statistics or the information available indicates that not more than 3 million Ghanaians have access to the passport. And even with the Ghana card, we know that the processes have not even been concluded. They are ongoing. They have always been fraught with challenges. Even where citizens have been registered, they have not gotten the cards. And in many parts of the country, many Ghanaians have not yet registered. So why would the Electoral Commission, if it has good intentions and indeed wants to execute to the maximum its core mandate of providing the avenue, the conduit, and putting in place the processes for citizens to be able to exercise their right to vote, why would that commission be seeking to narrow the opportunity, to narrow the rights of citizens to get on the voters' roll? I mean, simply put, we fail to understand why a birth certificate, which the world over everyone knows is a primary document, we fail to understand why even the existing voters register, which was issued by the same Electoral Commission, which was used in the election of a president and 275 members of parliament, for a referendum to create 6 additional regions, and indeed to elect assembly and unit committee members, would not be included as a breeder document. So these are the issues, and these are the reasons why we feel very passionate and determined to do whatever is legally permissible to ensure that Ghanaians are not disenfranchised, but the body that should be seeking to enfranchise as many Ghanaians. In fact, it is a contradiction in many ways, because ideally, the Electoral Commission should be interested in making it easier for more Ghanaians to register, not making it more difficult and cumbersome, and relying on documents that are not easily available to ordinary Ghanaian. So these are the reasons why our side of the committee debated and argued the way we did. And indeed, as you said earlier, once the committee is done with this work, it is definitely going to come to a plenary, and the rest of us would have a chance to take a bite at it. But honestly, the posture, the attitude, the conduct so far of the commission with the overt support of government gives reason for us to worry that this trajectory is aimed at a particular goal, which will not inure
What's the goal?
to the benefit of Ghanaians, to ensure that the ruling party remains in power. It's as simple as that. We have said it, and we are not going to shy away from that.